Good morning, students. So this is yet another video lecture on parts of speech. In this video lecture, I'll be covering two parts of speech, which is one is of course pronouns, the other is adjectives. We already know that there are 9 parts of speech. I've already covered two before. One is nouns and the other is verbs, and these two are also covered in this video lecture, which leaves us with another 5 more. So I'll be, of course, taking up 2 of them in each video lecture and completing the division for parts of speech. So let's look at the first slide that will tell us about pronouns. Okay, so what are pronouns? Pronouns replace nouns or noun phrases. Now, pronouns are usually short words. Pronouns are used to avoid repetition and they make sentences less cumbersome. Examples are, of course, give a girl the right shoes and she can conquer the world. The pronoun she is used in place of a girl, which is a noun phrase. And the second example, Maria loves Saturday. It is the day she gets her pocket money. The pronoun it replaces Saturday, of course, and the pronoun she replaces Maria. Now, common pronouns are he, she, you, me, I, we, us, this, them, and that. What, which, who, and whom are also used as pronouns, especially in interrogative sentences. A pronoun can act as a subject, direct object, indirect object, object of the preposition, and more, and takes the place of any person, place, animal, or thing. Okay. So one thing that you need to remember of pronouns is that they basically replace nouns and or noun phrases. That is the most important thing. Okay, who versus whom, subject and object pronouns. Who is a subject pronoun like I, he, she, we, and they. Whom is an object pronoun like me, him, her, us, and them. When the pronoun is the object of a verb or preposition, the object form is what one needs. Okay, so please remember, in case you are kind of confused between the usage of who and whom, then please understand that who is a subject pronoun, whereas whom is an object pronoun. Okay, I'll be giving you an exercise based on this, who versus whom, and then you can probably practice this a little. Okay. Now, what are adjectives? So much for pronouns. Now we are moving on to adjectives, which is of course another part of speech. Now, adjectives are words that describe or modify other words, making your writing and speaking much more specific and a whole lot more interesting. Words like small, blue, and sharp are descriptive, and they are all examples of adjectives. Because adjectives are used to identify or quantify individual people and unique things, they are usually positioned before the noun or pronoun that they modify. Some sentences contain multiple adjectives. For example, Joe lives in a big, beautiful house. So, big, of course, tells us about the size. Beautiful text is a description, like how the house looks, about its appearance. And of course, in this sentence, Joe lives in a big, beautiful house. There are two adjectives. Now, in the next sentence, on her birthday, Nina received an antique vase filled with fragrant flowers. Okay. Now, here, of course, antique is one adjective which is describing the vase, and fragrant flowers. Fragrant is the adjective which is, of course, a description for flowers. Now that when we are talking about types of adjectives, please remember there are 8 types of adjectives. First is proper adjective, second is descriptive, qualitative or attributive adjective. Third is quantitative adjective. Then fourth, numeral adjective, demonstrative adjective, distributive adjective, interrogative adjective, and possessive adjective. Now, what I'll be discussing under adjectives will, of course, is something that you all will be familiar with because you might have studied that under the grammar category of determiners. Okay, the grammatical category of determiners. Now, determiners are adjectives. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. Let's look at uh, the next slide. Now, what are these different types of adjectives? A proper adjective is one derived from a proper noun. For example, the English language, the Indian Ocean, the Victorian attitude. So in all of these, like let's look at the first example, the English language. So here English is actually a proper noun. So, but then here in this phrase, it's functioning as an adjective. Okay, that's why it's a proper adjective. The Indian Ocean, again, Indian is a noun, proper noun. So again, it's being used as an adjective. The Victorian attitude. So the proper noun from which Indian has, of course, been derived is India. Victorian, Victoria. Okay. English is, of course, derived from England. Okay. A descriptive, qualitative, or attributive adjective is one that shows the kind and quality of a person or thing. For example, a brave person, a beautiful child, a careful mother. Some attributive adjectives are derived from nouns. Example, a law college, a flower garden, payday. Okay. So these are, of course, just some of the examples. I'm sure you can think of a lot many more. A loyal person, uh, a fertile ground. So here, fertile in this example, a fertile ground. Fertile is an attributive adjective. Okay, coming next to a quantitative adjective. Then what are quantitative adjectives? A quantitative adjective is one that shows how much quantity of a thing is meant. For example, I did not eat any apple. He ate much bread. You drink little milk. As I was just mentioning, determiners are also uh, adjectives. A quantitative adjective is always followed by a singular material or abstract noun. Okay. A numeral adjective is one that shows the number or serial order of persons or things. They are further divided into two main classes: definite numerals and then indefinite numerals. Okay, so what are definite numerals? They show some exact number. They are of three kinds: cardinals, 1, 2, 3, 4; ordinals, first, second, third, fourth, and so on and so forth. Multiplicatives are single, double, triple, quadruple. So all of these are, of course, there. Now, indefinite numerals do not show an exact number. Example, all, some, enough, none, many, few, several, etc. Of course, all of these, you again, as I was just saying, you might have studied all of these under the grammatical category of determiners. So please understand the determiners are, when it comes to parts of speech, determiners are put under adjectives. A demonstrative, okay, now apart from that, a demonstrative adjective is one that points out which person or thing is meant. Example, this boy, that person, those men. A distributive adjective is one that refers to each one of a number. There are four in number: each, every, either, neither. An interrogative adjective is used to ask a question. For example, whose pen is this? What book is that? Which flower do you like best? Possessive adjective, the words my, our, your, his, her, its, their, when used before a noun are called possessive adjectives. Again, all of this you must have studied under the grammatical category of determiners. Apart from that, there are also degrees of comparison, and they, of course, relate to adjectives. So now when we are talking about degrees of comparison, we need to know what comparative and superlative adjectives are. Now, what are comparative adjectives? Comparative adjectives compare one person or thing with another and enable us to say whether a person or thing has more or less of a particular quality. Let's look at the examples. Examples will make this thing clear. Josh is taller than his sister. Here, taller is an adjective. And what kind of an adjective is it? It's a comparative adjective. I am more interested in music than sports. Here, more interested is the comparative adjective. If it was just interested, I am interested in music, then interested would have been basically a descriptive adjective, I guess. Then I am more interested in music than sports. Of course, more interested becomes a comparative adjective. Big cars that use a lot of petrol are less popular now than 20 years ago. Okay, big cars that use a lot of petrol are less popular now than 20 years ago. Here, it is less popular, which is the comparative adjective. Now, what are superlative adjectives? So, please understand, if you look at the first example and the second one, you will realize that in the first, of course, uh, the base adjective is tall, and then a comparative adjective is made by adding er to the base adjective tall. Okay, but then yeah, a lot of times we make comparative adjectives by adding er, but in some cases this is not there. In with some adjectives this is not the rule. In those cases we either add more or less. Okay, as the second and third examples here show. What about superlative adjectives? Now, superlative adjectives describe one person or thing as having more of a quality than all other people or things in a group. Okay, example, the silver arrow will be the fastest train in the world when it is built. So here, the fastest, fastest is a superlative adjective. Okay, again, base adjective is fast, and est is added to it to make a superlative adjective. Now, just like in case of a comparative adjective, here also the same rule applies, that not all adjectives can be turned into superlative adjectives by adding est. In some cases, we add most or least. The second and third example here exhibit this. The most frightening film I've ever seen was Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Most frightening. So most has been added to the adjective frightening. What is the least expensive way of traveling in Japan? Here expensive is of course the adjective, and in order to turn it into a superlative adjective, least has been added. So least expensive is the superlative adjective here. An example of how we turn an adjective into comparative and superlative is given here. So if the adjective base adjective is tall, then comparative is of course made from it taller by adding er, and superlative tallest. So tall, taller, tallest, and then old, older, oldest is of course another example. But in of course other cases this rule does not apply. In those cases we either add more, most, or less, least. So beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Now, how to use adjectives? Most adjectives can be used in front of a noun. For example, they have a beautiful house. We saw a very exciting film last night. Here, of course, the words in bold are adjectives in the examples, and they are used before a noun. Second point, they can also be used after a link verb like be, look, or feel. For example, their house is beautiful. That film looks interesting. So here, link verbs, of course, in the previous video lecture, I've talked about link verbs. So is a link verb, and beautiful is the adjective, which is of course describing the house. That film looks interesting. Interesting is the adjective used after the link verb look. And what is it describing? What is being described as interesting? The film. Okay. Third, a lot of adjectives are made from verbs by adding ing or ed. Example, interesting, bored, etc. So if the noun is since the noun is interest, so how do we make an adjective? By adding ing, interesting. Verb is no, the verb, sorry, interest is not just a noun, it is also a verb. So to interest someone in something, so interesting. Then to bore, again, bore is the base form of the verb, so ed can be added and then it can be made into an adjective, bored. Okay, so this is of course something that can be done. There are other ways also in which we may make adjectives out of nouns and verbs. So comic, if that is the noun, then the adjective will be comical. Okay, if wind is of course a noun, then windy is an adjective. Okay, moving on. We often have two adjectives in front of a noun. A handsome young man, a big black car, that horrible big dog. So these are of course examples of sentences which make use of two adjectives. before one noun only. So both of these adjectives are describing one noun, just the same noun actually. Okay, some adjectives give a general opinion. We can use these adjectives to describe almost any noun. Example, good, bad, lovely, etc. Now, you can see in the example that I've given, he's a good, wonderful, brilliant, bad, dreadful teacher. You can choose any one of them. Okay. Then some adjectives give a specific opinion. We only use these adjectives to describe particular kinds of nouns. For example, delicious, comfortable, etc. Now, the point to remember is this. We usually put a general opinion in front of a specific opinion. Nice, tasty soup. It's not going to be the other way around. Tasty, nice soup. Usually that it's not said like that. Nice, tasty soup. A nasty, uncomfortable armchair. A lovely, intelligent animal. We usually put an opinion adjective in front of a descriptive adjective. A nice red dress, a silly old man, those horrible yellow curtains. We use some adjectives only after a link verb. Examples, our teacher was ill. We don't say we have a ill teacher, an ill teacher. No, we have a teacher who is ill. Either we can say it like that, or we say our teacher was ill. So here, of course, the link verb is was, and the adjective is ill. My uncle was very glad when he heard the news. Okay. We don't say my very glad uncle. That's incorrect. So my uncle was very glad when he heard the news. The policeman seemed to be very annoyed. Okay. So these are, of course, some things that you need to keep in mind about adjectives. Now, sometimes we have three adjectives in front of a noun, but this is unusual. A nice, handsome young man. It's a rare thing. I think it's mostly writers who do this. So you might find people using just two adjectives at max, but in some unusual cases, of course, you can also find three adjectives in front of a noun. Now, adjectives usually come in this order. The following order is important. So first, there is a general opinion, then specific opinion, then size, shape, age, color, nationality, material. It's not very important. I'm sure they will not ask you such specific questions in the exam, but just for your information, this is the case. So this is the order. A few adjectives are used only in front of a noun. Example, he lives in the Eastern District. There were countless problems with the new machinery. So that's all I have for today. Yes, I'll be giving you an assignment for this video lecture. Please complete it. It's for your own practice. And please send your assignments to me. It will be very nice. Next lecture, I'll be covering again, it will be on parts of speech, but I'll probably cover three topics, three parts of speech if I can. Otherwise, two will definitely be there. I think I'll make one on conjunction and interjection together, and the other three I might just put in one video lecture. So that's that. There are, of course, adverbs, prepositions, and this one more. Okay, so much for this. You can take a look at this PPT on your own as well. So thank you so much for watching this. I'll end the video lecture now.